Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Sarah. Today we're on episode 16, where we'll explore how to organise a brilliant birthday party in natural English.
Before we begin, please subscribe if you haven't already. This series is not only for IELTS learners, it's for anyone who wants to improve their English and speak with greater confidence.
Listen closely, repeat the conversations, and practice aloud, either in front of a mirror or with friends.
Then share this lesson with anyone who is keen to learn.
Right. Shall we begin?
Now, let's get started together. Sarah, can you believe that Emma's birthday is next Saturday?
I know, it has come round rather quickly, hasn't it? We really ought to start organising something before we leave everything until the last minute.
Absolutely. I was thinking we could throw her a surprise party. She has had a fairly stressful few months, and I think it would be lovely to give her something properly cheerful to look forward to.
I like that idea. Emma always makes an effort for everyone else's birthday, so it would be nice to return the favour. The main question is, where should we have it?
We could do it at my flat. The living room is big enough for a small group, and there is a decent kitchen if we want to prepare food ourselves.
That could work well. How many people were you thinking of inviting?
Perhaps 12 to 15 people? Her closest friends, a few people from work, and maybe her sister and cousin. I do not want it to become one of those huge parties where the birthday person barely has a chance to speak to anyone.
Exactly. A smaller party feels more personal. We should make a list though, because it is surprisingly easy to forget someone important when you are inviting people one by one.
Good point. Let's start with her friends from university, Lucy, Ben, Maya, and Daniel. Then there are her colleagues, Priya, Tom, Hannah, and Josh.
And we definitely need to invite her sister, Chloe. Chloe will probably know whether Emma already has plans for that evening. We need someone to make sure Emma arrives at the right time without becoming suspicious.
That is true. Could you message Chloe? You know her better than I do.
Of course. I will ask her casually whether Emma is free on Saturday evening. I will not mention the party just yet. If Emma has already arranged something, we may have to rethink the date.
Brilliant. Now, what sort of party should it be? I know Emma enjoys a nice meal, but she also loves dancing and having a laugh.
Why not do both? We could begin with food and drinks at your flat, then, if people still have the energy, go to that little bar near the station. They usually have live music on Saturdays.
That sounds ideal. It means people can stay for the whole evening or just join us for part of it. I do not want anyone to feel pressured to spend a fortune.
Exactly. We can keep the first part simple and relaxed. A few decorations, some good food, a playlist, and a birthday cake. It does not need to be extravagant to feel special.
Speaking of food, should we cook, order a takeaway, or ask everyone to bring something?
A combination might be easiest. If we try to cook everything ourselves, we will spend the entire day in the kitchen and be exhausted before anyone arrives. We could make a few things in advance, then order pizzas or a curry later.
I am happy with that. I can make some snacks, crisps, olives, cheese, fruit, and perhaps a couple of dips. You make an excellent pasta salad as well.
Thank you. I can bring that, and I will make some brownies. But we should check whether anyone has dietary requirements before deciding on the menu.
Yes, definitely. Priya is vegetarian, isn't she?
She is, and I think Josh is lactose intolerant. It is not difficult to cater for people if you know beforehand, but it is awful when someone arrives and cannot eat anything.
I will send a message in the group once we have confirmed the guest list. Something like, "We're planning a surprise for Emma, so please keep it quiet." Let us know if you have any food allergies or dietary requirements.
Perfect. Keep the message warm, but make the surprise part very clear. You know what people are like. Someone will accidentally mention it in front of her if we are not careful.
Quite. Emma is observant as well. If everyone suddenly starts whispering whenever she walks into a room, she will work it out immediately.
We should also think of a believable reason for getting her to your flat. Maybe Chloe could invite her round for dinner.
That is clever. Chloe could say she has cooked too much food and wants help finishing it. Emma would believe that. Chloe is always making enormous portions.
Exactly. Then, when they arrive, everyone can hide in the living room. We turn off the lights, wait quietly, and shout, "Happy birthday!" when she comes in.
It sounds simple when you say it like that. In reality, someone will probably laugh too loudly or leave their coat in the hallway.
That is why we need a plan. We should ask everyone to arrive by 7, and Chloe can bring Emma over at 7:30. That gives us half an hour to settle people in.
Shall I tell people to use the back entrance? It is less likely that Emma will see anyone through the front window.
Yes, and tell them not to ring the bell repeatedly. If the door is locked, they can send you a message. We do not need the whole building wondering what is going on.
Fair enough. I will also clear some space in the hallway so there are not 15 pairs of shoes sitting by the door. That would give the game away rather quickly.
You are thinking ahead. I'm impressed.
I have learned from previous mistakes. Remember my birthday 2 years ago when everyone tried to surprise me, but I came home early and found balloons, banners, and a massive cake in the kitchen.
Oh yes, you were very polite about it, but I could see that you were trying not to laugh.
I loved it, to be fair. It was just not much of a surprise after that.
Well, we are determined to do better for Emma. What about decorations? We do not want the flat to look overdone, but a few balloons and fairy lights would be nice.
I have some fairy lights in a cupboard somewhere. We can get balloons in gold, pink, and white perhaps. Those colours feel festive without looking like a children's party.
Agreed. And maybe a simple banner saying, "Happy birthday, Emma." Nothing too fussy. She likes things that feel thoughtful rather than flashy.
What about a theme? Is that too much?
A full theme might be a bit much, but we could ask people to wear something colourful. It gives the photos a cheerful feel without making anyone buy a costume.
Nice. We can write, "Wear something bright if you fancy it," so nobody feels obliged.
Exactly. The best parties are the ones where people feel comfortable. You want everyone chatting naturally, not worrying about whether they have followed a complicated dress code.
Now, the important part, the cake. Do you know what flavour Emma would like?
Chocolate, without a doubt. She claims she is not bothered about cake, but she always chooses chocolate when there is a choice.
Shall we order one from that bakery on the high street?
Yes, their cakes are lovely. We should order it in advance though. Saturday is usually busy, especially in summer. Ask for a medium-sized chocolate cake with "Happy Birthday Emma" written on it.
Done. And perhaps we could get some candles shaped like the number 28.
Good idea. Although she may pretend she does not want everyone counting the candles.
She will survive. It is her birthday. She is allowed to make a bit of a fuss.
True. We should also think about a present. Are we organising a group gift, or should everyone bring something individually?
I think a group gift makes sense. Emma has mentioned that she wants a weekend away, so perhaps we could get her a voucher for a hotel or a spa.
That is thoughtful. It gives her something to enjoy after the party too. We can collect money from everyone, but we need to be clear that people should only contribute what they are comfortable with.
Definitely. No one should feel awkward about money. We could say, if you would like to contribute, even a small amount would be appreciated, but please do not feel obliged.
That is exactly right. Then we can put the voucher in a card and ask everyone to write a message inside. Those personal messages often mean more than the present itself.
I agree. Years later, she is more likely to remember what people wrote than the exact amount on the voucher.
Shall we add a few activities as well? Nothing forced, but perhaps a quiz about Emma or a little game after dinner.
A quiz could be fun. We could ask questions like, what was Emma's first job? Or, what is her most used phrase? It would make everyone laugh and help different groups of friends get to know each other.
Exactly. We can keep it short, 10 questions maximum. Long party games can become awkward if people just want to talk.
We should make a playlist too. Some of Emma's favorite songs. A few classics that everyone knows. And something upbeat for later in the evening.
I will handle that. I know her music taste quite well. We need songs people can sing along to, but not music so loud that nobody can hold a conversation.
Thank you. You are basically the creative director of this party.
And you are the practical one. It is a good partnership. You sort out the guest list, food, cake, and timings. I will do the playlist, decorations, Chloe, and the group present.
That sounds fair. Let us make a checklist tonight, so we do not forget anything.
Yes, and on the day, let us try not to panic if something goes slightly wrong. Someone may arrive late, the cake may not be perfect, or Emma may guess that something is happening.
You are right. The point is not to create a flawless event. It is to make her feel loved and celebrated.
Exactly. And if she is surrounded by people who care about her, it will be a wonderful birthday party, whatever happens.
Sarah, I have some good news. Chloe replied, and Emma is completely free on Saturday. Better still, Chloe has agreed to bring her to my flat at 7:30.
Brilliant! Did Chloe say whether Emma is likely to suspect anything?
She said Emma has no idea. Chloe told her they were having a quiet dinner together, and Emma seemed perfectly happy with that.
Excellent. I have also checked with most of the guests. We have 13 people coming, and everyone has been told to keep the surprise secret.
Any dietary requirements?
Priya is vegetarian, Josh cannot have dairy, and Maya does not eat nuts. I have written everything down so we can make sure there are suitable options for everyone.
Great. I have ordered the cake, and it will be ready to collect on Saturday afternoon. It is a chocolate cake with raspberry filling, which feels like a safe choice.
Emma will love that. I bought some balloons, a banner, and paper napkins, but I kept the decorations fairly simple. I want the flat to feel warm and welcoming, not like a party shop has exploded in it.
Sensible. I have made a list for the food shop. Vegetarian pizzas, a couple of dairy-free options, salad, crisps, fruit, soft drinks, and a few bottles of wine.
Lovely. I will bring the pasta salad, brownies, and some candles. I have also finished the playlist. It starts gently while everyone arrives, then gets more lively later in the evening.
You have thought of everything. Have we collected enough money for the group present?
We have. Everyone was very generous, and we can get Emma a lovely hotel voucher. I will buy a card tomorrow and bring it round for everyone to sign.
Perfect. I have one final concern. How do we make sure people arrive quietly?
Send a reminder on Saturday afternoon. Tell everyone to arrive between 7 and 7:15, use the back entrance, and message you instead of ringing the bell.
Good idea. I will also tell them not to post anything on social media until after Emma arrives. One photograph at the wrong moment could ruin the whole surprise.
Very wise. Honestly, I think it is going to be a really lovely evening. It is organised, but it still feels relaxed, and that is exactly what we wanted.
I agree. And even if the plan is not perfect, Emma will see the effort everyone has made. That is what matters most.
Absolutely. Now, learners, we hope you enjoyed today's conversation about organising a birthday party.
If you found it useful, please subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future episodes.
And tell us in the comments below, what new words, phrases, or expressions did you learn today?
You could write about useful phrases such as throw a surprise party, make a guest list, dietary requirements, or keep it quiet.
Practice the dialogue aloud as well. Try speaking in front of a mirror, or ask a friend to play Adam or Sarah with you.
The more you speak, the more natural and confident your English will become.
Share this episode with anyone who would like to improve their English, whether they are preparing for IELTS or simply want to use English more confidently in everyday life.
And make sure you are ready for episode 17.
See you next time!
Bye for now.